Number one, we were excited to get back into competition, like I told you. It was a good chance for us to evaluate where we were right now. And overall, we probably were a little disappointed in how we played. We played great the first round. Most difficult round of the tournament. It was blowing 30 or 40 miles an hour the entire round. And our guys played great. We shot even par. We were leading after the first round. Then after that, we didn't play so good. We had guys get challenged out there, and they just didn't meet up with that. And so we've got to evaluate what we need to do as we go forward. But I think it's encouraging because it really shows us what we need to work on. Our guys were excited, although they understand that there's a lot of work they have to do. I mean, we ended up falling all the way back to 8th place, which is not what we like. It's not what we want. But it's encouraging because we know we have a lot of room for improvement. And although we are 8th, we were just 19 shots off the lead, and we didn't play very good the last 2 rounds. I thought overall our guys played pretty good individually. There were some good points in all of their rounds and all their scores, and some not so bright highlights. Number one, Gregor Main, finishing top 10. Tied for 10th. Played very well, made a few key errors mentally during that last round that probably cost him a few shots. So, we'll address those. Some decisions that he needs to be aware of, paying attention during the practice round, understanding wind conditions and how that changes your club selection. It's something that these guys don't pay a lot of attention to, and it's a detail that's important, and all of our guys need to do that. Next was Alex, finished tied for 16th, one of his best tournaments. Something really encouraging about him is he went birdie his last 2 holes for the tournament, moved him up, probably 10 spots. So we're really happy with him. Again, he's kind of an emotional player, lets things on the golf course dictate how he plays, and so we've got to learn. He's got to learn how to establish himself on the golf course and understand that he just needs to play within himself, understand what needs to happen, make the right decisions, and then he's going to be great. Then we have Pontus, played well first 2 rounds. Never could probably establish himself on the greens. They were a little bit different, and it challenged him. So he didn't make a lot of putts, and I think that really started to bother him that last round. Shot 77, hit the ball beautifully all 3 rounds, just started to not make the putts, and I think it got to him mentally. And again, for a young player, he's got to understand that that happens in golf, and it's a challenge, but you've got to overcome that. Then we have Pedro. Pedro is such a feel player. He's someone that needs to be playing a lot of golf and in a lot of competition. Even though he didn't play well, he shot the highest round since he's been here in that middle round. He's got to work on getting that feel back and the rust off just in the competitive nature. So I feel like he's going to be fine. He's going to play really well this spring. It's just one of those tournaments. He didn't play very well, and he's a feel guy that when the wind's out there, it kind of moves him around a little bit. He's a tall guy, so he has to pay attention to what's going on and establish his base well. So I think it's something that he now understands. He hasn't played in conditions like that before, so he's going to make the adjustments that he needs to. They have Bobby. Again, Bobby played exactly what we expected and what we hoped for in 2 of his 3 rounds. He shot right there in the mid 70s, which he's not completely happy with, and we know he can play a lot better. That middle round, he didn't play well at all. Got off to a bad start, and it's something that he's got to understand that he's got to work really hard. He's got to keep getting better, and I think overall he's looking to improve and to help this golf team. I think that's the fun part about this team. We've got 3 freshmen, 2 sophomore that played. We're young. In college golf, since we're very, very young. And for 3 of these guys, it's their 3rd tournament. And so for Pontus, Pedro, and Bobby, it's their 3rd college tournament, although we've been in, half a year. So they understand that, it's a long year. This is one tournament. We've got to learn from it, and that's what I ask all of our guys, that they learn something from every round, and especially from every tournament. These were tough conditions, but scoreable. And no matter what the golf course presents, you have to be able to meet that challenge. So I think these guys understand that, and they're going to be working hard to establish themselves as a great golf team. I think we really take a look at where our stats were this week, understanding where our birdie conversions were. As I've looking at the stats, overall we were, as a team, we were 16 birdies short of the leader, and that's a lot of birdies that we didn't get to convert like the leading team did. So it's something that we've got to really pay attention to, and we've got to make more putts. So whether that's going for par 5s and 2 and trying to really establish getting it up and down, or if it's making more putts and just time on the putting green, we've got to work hard this week, because we're right back in competition, next Sunday. So we've got a short week, we've got a quick turnaround, and we really need to establish, and understand what it's going to take for us to get up in the last 9 holes and try to establish ourselves as leading.